Hi all out there, this is Guitar God 645 here to do another movie review, and this time I'm actually reviewing a good movie, which is The Mask. This is an absolutely fantastic piece of filmmaking yet again, which really helped to launch Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz into the public eye. And it features groundbreaking special effects. There's a good plot to it as well, which I'll explain in a second. And really great acting, it has to be said. I mean, considering this was Cameron Diaz's first movie, you do get with some actors who do a first movie when it is their first, and that you can tell they're just still fresh out of acting school. This lass managed to come straight out of that and really came off as being really professional, which I think really gave her a lot of credit to her performance. Jim Carrey is actually not doing his over-the-top humour which we've seen him do in movies like Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and other films that he's been in, where he's done completely over-the-top acting. The Riddler is another fantastic role he did, and to be honest, I can't really imagine anyone else doing that role, but we'll see what happens when Batman 3 comes out in 2 years. And it's a real story of the nice guy who's picked on by everyone, and I personally can relate to that because that happens to me all the time, really. And he thinks all of a sudden his looks changed when he's met Tina Carlisle, but sadly his plans are foiled when it's found out that she is actually the girlfriend of a gangster boss known as Dorian, who wants to take over from his boss Nico while running the Coco Bongo Club. Now, one night when Stanley's had everything bad that you can think of happen to him, he sees a boat which looks like a shipwreck from on top of this bridge where he is. He climbs down only to find this mystical mask, but to him it just looks like a piece of wood. Just as he's about to put it on, the police flash a light down to him, stopping him from trying it. And the excuse is, "I'm just looking for my mask. I got it." And then we cut to his apartment, where he's walking up the stairs, and somehow the landlady with ears of a bat, known as Mrs. Peaman, hears him coming up and decides to have a really good go at him. He goes in and finds his best friend, who is his dog, Milo, waiting for him, and they chill for a bit, watching cartoons, throwing frisbees around and whatnot. Eventually, Stanley finally looks at the mask, tries to put it on, but finds that it's starting to suck his face in. So he takes it off and then looks at it a bit more before finally putting it on, and we have the first transformation sequence, which is brilliant special effects work by ILM, I believe. If I am wrong, I'm sorry. And then he sets the mask in his new guise, sets out to really right all the wrongs that Stanley has faced up to this point. He, foils a load of gang members, which was cut from the original, but it's been seen in the comic books, and I'm sure it's on the bonus scenes. I'll have to properly look at this DVD again soon. I've only watched the movie of it so far. And he also goes to the car mechanics, where they were trying to give him the loaner car, which is really a terrible looking car. I mean, I have seen some bad ones, but that one is just like, damn! And anyway, he wakes up the next morning with no memory of what's happened, before getting a visit from the police, who try and explain to him what happened, and even he's like, what did happen? And next thing you know, he's late for work. So he goes in and the boss starts having a go at him, and Stanley just stands there and takes it. Like the schmuck he is, really, to be honest. And anyway, as the movie progresses, we realise that there is a budding love interest between Stanley and Tina, even though Tina is still with Dorian. And I've got to say, it's a really good plot line, because you really get to explore how an ordinary, everyday guy can end up with the girl of his dreams. Basically, that is the essential core of the story. And I mean, the Mask character is a really brilliant work of both CGI, comedy, action, you name it. I feel that this movie could have had a decent sequel, but I don't know, did it? That is one movie I will not be reviewing, and that is a promise. Anyway, as you can imagine, it's your typical happy ending with Stanley throwing the mask into the river, and Milo actually tries to grab it again, and obviously succeeds getting it from Charlie, who does try and dive in the river to get it himself. But sadly that doesn't happen. So yeah, this is a movie which I really enjoyed, and I've got to give it a 10 out of 10, because it is just a absolutely fantastic movie, and I just can't fault it. Okay, that's all for The Mask. I think I'm sure my next review is going to be another requested bad movie, and when I say bad, it is bad. It's a VH1 original movie, and it's called Man in the Mirror, The Michael Jackson Story. And trust me, after I explain how bad it is, you will understand yourselves. Okay, this is Guitar God 645 signing off, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.